to first come and say a welcome address on this day. Now I will request Mr. Avtar Singh Rawat.
Thank you, Mr. Sakti. And first of all, I thanks to the organizer of this event and respected KTS Tulsi Saab. You are most welcome, sir. I learned from, before I come to the point of this, I want to say one thing that I have learned many things from you, sir. I have been your junior in the various duties. And today we are very glad that you have given us your company. And I also welcome all other the speakers in this webinar on the day of the topic. And the topic, which is basically by the very important topic.
विक्रम अपना आप माइक थोड़ा ऑफ करेंगे कि उससे डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है प्लीज सर बोलिए
suffering because of this the COVID-19 and COVID-19 all of we are all of us knows very well for last more than a year. This has been a very dispiriting and emotionally drained period for every citizen of this country. And the sadness at the loss of life that has hit to many families because of the pandemic. Initially, the pandemic, when the information of the pandemic world over was known to the country, to India, that was way back in 30th of January 2020. And it was a pandemic itself. Being a pandemic, then the preparation to fight this pandemic would have been there. But somehow that it was not there. The press coverage, national, international press coverage, what has done was he had given a graphic and the picture of the entire the scenario all over the world. But still, there's some lacking on the part of decision taking in this country. And knowingly well that it's a pandemic, the preparation has to be while keeping this pandemic in mind. This was not done. Ultimately, otherwise what would have been done initially was that there must have been at least 3-4 the field. First thing was that the insurance, how to the state a power that be would fight this. Second would have been the protection to the citizen. Third would have been to cure. These are the major which would have taken, and a policy would have been framed, and that must have been a homogeneity all over the entire state. So since India is a federal structure, there is a government at the center, there are various government at the state. There has to be a harmonious, uniform policy and the coordination among the center and the state. Because of lack of informed consultation among the governments, states, the havoc which has been caused now by this disease, causing hundreds of lakhs of deaths was there. And I feel that in a federal structure, when there is a federal structure in a country, There's always a system which is called parliamentary system. Parliamentary committees are there. The consultative bodies are there. Expert bodies are there. So in order to combat this problem, there must have been these all this discussion in the parliament, discussion in the parliamentary committees, then formulation of some preventive measure, how effectively all over the state this can be prevented. But that for last more than 1 year now, the perception is that this coordination, informed consultation with the other views, with the experts was absolutely lacking, and therefore the chaos, a kind of chaos which has ultimately resulted into causing deaths without the basic facility of hospital beds are not there, oxygen is not there, the medicine is not there, uniform views are not there about regarding the disease itself. There are various doctors. Doctors are also, in my opinion, doctors have also played a little bit irresponsible. Uh, they behave irresponsibly because there was no uniformity. Somebody was suggesting something. Somebody was suggesting something. More about this social media also has created a void in the mind. They're saying that the quackery prevails. Ultimately, they say first somebody is supposedly is suffering from and got infected with pandemic. Then what was happening for days together, 5 days, 10 days, because the lack of uniform policy, uniform the cure system. The people are taking various kinds of medicine, homeopathic, Ayurvedic, and ultimately when the problem goes beyond control, then ultimately it goes to the hospital. Hospital also does not have the adequate facilities, and ultimately it resulted into the deaths. Lakhs of people have died. Similar is the now preventive measures are concerned. Similarly, the preventive measures, there's no vaccination is one thing which the all doctors now they say that one has to go for vaccination. The adequate preparation vaccination, our country needs at least 8 million vaccination every day. That is why 140 crores of people and at least 1500 million people has to be vaccinated. There is no vaccination. Initially, some megalomaniac thought process also prevail on the authority. And they say that India is a all powerful. Our scientists are so great that they've started exporting whatever the vaccine they have started exporting. Now, when the situation became very severe in our country, now we are lack of vaccination. There's no vaccination. Every day, day in, day out, there's a proclamation by authority, whosoever they may be. They are saying that we'll have vaccination of the adult after 40 onwards, 18 to 40, and there's hardly any vaccination in the country. Vaccines are not sufficient, vaccines are there. So therefore, it has ultimately resulted in a kind of chaotic condition, and the treatment and the combative the attitude of the country as a whole, of the maybe doctors, maybe some at a political level. This is not that we can really or effectively can suppress this disease at a present moment. We don't know this after the second stage. Second stage was covered by the international media in a very different, projecting very high magnitude of the disease. But the preparation, proportionality was not there. So therefore, in my humble submission, I'll not say much because I'm not the doctor expert as such. But one thing is there that in a democratic setup, when there's a country like our country, which is a large country, in large country, there has to be, and one and more than 1 year is a sufficient time enough. That space which between stage 1 and stage 2 would have been utilized for providing medical facility and creating some kind of infrastructure, whether it is a hospital bed, whether it is oxygen, whether it's the vaccines or any other thing, but that preparation was not done and nobody has taken it so seriously to the extent that the disease was very fatal, in the sense that so you might have seen that it doesn't take much. Fifth day after, if somebody has not taken appropriate steps, fifth day afterward, there's a absolute this congestion in your lungs, and lungs within no time, within 5 or 10 days, lungs also stop functioning, and ultimately it causes death to the patient. So the kind of disease it was, the preparation up to that mark was not have not been seen in and around in any state. Forget about the state level also, it was not there. So with these few words, I'll just sum up, and then I'll ask the speaker that let them illuminate us on this aspect. Thank you. Now, Sakti, carry on.
Very much, sir. Now, without wasting any time, I would like to call Shri T.S. Tulsi. I just take 30 seconds. That he is one of the most respected voices in India, and we are very keen to listen. The topic is chosen by Shri K.T.S. Tulsi sir. So without wasting any time, I'll just request Honorable Shri Kavi Tejpal Singh Tulsi sir to just please come and deliver his address. Sir, please. Sir, please.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for inviting me on this webinar. My salutes to Mr. Avtar Singh Rawat, Mr. Mahinder Singh Pal, Mr. Joshi, Mr. Abhimanyu Gandhi, and Mr. Shakti Singh. It's a very tragic affair, and I propose not to reach at any conclusion, and I only deal with certain facts which are undisputed, place them before you, and leave it for each one of you to draw your own conclusions, because we need to learn something from it. It's a critical analysis, but critical for being able to deal with it better next time, which is actually just a couple of months away. But the most I would request for you to come to the next slide, where I want to deal with the statistics. Who's going to do it? Let's ask them. You come from that side. Whoever is in custody of my PPT will have to keep changing the. On this, I want to say, so far as Delhi is concerned, there are a total of 14 lakh cases. 14 lakh? And 13.5 lakh recovered. There have been 22,000 579 deaths. Now, statistics actually don't mean anything. They don't bring the truth home. But I would like to put it like this, that in Delhi, for the last about 1 year, the total number of cases are such that every minute there were 243 cases being reported. Every minute throughout the year. This is the average. There are days when they have gone up to a lakh, but this is the average, that 243 per minute are the cases which were being registered, and what was our preparation, etc. We'll come to that later. And in this, there were 30 persons every minute lost their lives in Delhi. According to those statistics, 22,579, 30 persons per minute were losing their life. That was the magnitude. And I understand that the magnitude, the peak was much later, but we had to anticipate. We began to celebrate the first phase when the first phase was over. And the second wave, we were caught completely unawares, and it turned out to be far more lethal. If we take the statistics of all India, 2.6 crore cases, which means 3,645 cases per minute. Per minute. I'm mentioning these statistics because the preparation and the planning and the materials had to be catered for 3,645 persons per minute. So it is that kind of an organization which ought to have been created. If not in the first wave, at least before the second wave. And what about the deaths in India? The total number of deaths in India is 291,000 are the total number of deaths till today in India. Now that comes to 2.34 persons per minute were losing their lives somewhere in India. Every 2 minutes or every 3 minutes, there were 2 persons losing their life. I'm not at the moment making it more complicated by going into the statistics with regard to the whole world, but wherever necessary, I will try and do that. In the next slide, if I may request the gentleman, Abhimanyu, yes. There are the ICMR study. We are now going into the planning, what happened. ICMR study showed that 47.5% of the patients, 47.5% of the patients were reporting breathlessness. Now, why at that time the preparation for making these concentrators or cylinders for oxygen, when there is breathlessness, the only way of being able to relieve the patient is to put him on oxygen. How much oxygen was planned? How much was available? How much was required? These are the things which we are trying to say in this slide, that against the requirement of 5% ICUs, there were only 1% available, which means that 10% 1% available. Uttarakhand, for instance, saw 3,658 new cases on May 20th, 21. The 7-day average of Uttarakhand from May 13, 2021 to May 20, 2021 was 4,590 COVID positive cases. So far as children are concerned, in Maharashtra, if we make a comparison between Uttarakhand and Maharashtra, it will be apparent that the machinery was far more better prepared than in Uttarakhand. Maharashtra, 88,827 children up to the age of 10 tested positive in January 2021. The Delhi spike has infected a lot of young infants. It has now been discovered that even with the mild symptoms, amongst the infants, there were 180,000 samples on April 18 and 19, 2021. The National Institute of Cancer was required under a contract with the Government of India to collect 4,000 samples daily. 4,000 samples daily, and how grossly wrong we were in our preparation will be apparent that against the contract with the National Institute of Cancer for 4,000 samples daily, on the first day, there were 6,000 persons for testing. So against the preparation of 4,000 a day, we had 6,000 on day one. What kind of planning did we do? Soon they were receiving more than 6,000 patients, and Dr. Dang saw an increase of 150% for testing. 80% of the positive cases are required to be isolated. But what is the preparation that was made? In the preparation, you will see, so far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, up to 31st March 2021, it had the capacity of 20,139 of isolation, beds, oxygen, and ICU beds. Within 2 weeks, the number of afflicted persons overtook the installed capacity. And that is why we were left napping all the time, caught napping all the time. Maharashtra was asked to increase the capacity. The country has the capacity of 7,827 metric tons of oxygen. But that was only 54%. 54% was available. This is a 54. What was available was only 3,842. So although we manufactured, we never anticipated the number of persons who were going to come. And even in between, we did not ramp up the capability to be able to save lives. The state had at that time 6,38,000 active cases, but the availability of oxygen was only 1,250 tons with regard to oxygen of that day. Now, Maharashtra was the only state which could take steps and remedy the situation, or at least control the situation, because the state had at that time 6,38,000 cases, and they met the needs of only 10% of COVID patients. But immediately they took certain actions, and Maharashtra that's had 50 tons. They took 50 tons from Chhattisgarh, 50 tons from Gujarat, and 100 with the situation. As against Ahmedabad and Surat faced ventilator shortages, and there was no personnel who were trained to use non-invasive oxygen supply. I mean, that was the situation which remained the same, but at least Maharashtra showed improvement in the situation immediately. As compared to the recommendations of the World Health Organization, we had to keep the positivity rate below 5%. But the national average on April 20, 2021 was 33%. So how many times we have overshot or underperformed as against the target which was fixed by WHO. Now WHO, why did the government declare victory after the first phase or first wave before the second wave hit us? At that time we started celebrating, and we have made him run away by sounding our thalis with the chamchas, and we thought that now India has done a great job, but we ought to have known that there's another phase coming. And second wave, when it came, it again caught us napping with regard to the men and material. The problem really in the second phase is that the harrowing sea of mass burning of victims makes it impossible for us to make an accurate estimate or an accurate, when the dead bodies have been buried in the banks of either bank of Ganga, how are we going to get the statistics to be able to know whether we succeeded or not? So the 260,000 cases was the average number of persons infected with COVID on 18th April 2021, which itself was 2.5 times the number of peak of the first wave. When the cases shot up, there was no testing equipment. On April 20, the Prime Minister ruled out lockdown on the ground that it hurts the economy. That is also a valid reason. It's not easy to take these decisions. But at the same time, from January onwards, why did the vaccine start going abroad rather than being available to the people of India? We ought to have had, on 20th January 2021, Bhutan was sent 150,000 units of vaccine by us. On 1st February 2021, South Africa got 10 lakh cases. On 21st February, Serbia got 150,000 cases of vaccine. On 20th February 2021, Bangladesh received 70 lakh commercial supplies and 20 lakh of grant and assistance. 24th February, Morocco received 70 lakh of vaccine. On 24th February, Ghana, then Nigeria, Afghanistan, Guyana, Burma, UN peacekeepers, Fiji, Albania, etc. This created a situation where Indians themselves were unable to get the vaccination and be secure in the pandemic. And that we could have actually defeated the pandemic if we had enough vaccine and enough of the other medicines, because other medicines also became unavailable. Remdesivir, Fabiflu, etc. For procuring Remdesivir, the waiting time was 24 to 72 hours. And the nature of the gods were not kind enough to give that kind of time. People obviously, if they were not, they could not get this medicine, they lost their lives. Fabiflu, erythromycin, paracetamol, they all disappeared from the market. The vaccine disappeared. 3% of India's senior citizens, 3% of India's citizens only have been vaccinated till now. So there are 97% of Indians who are still vulnerable to another phase if it comes. This is one of the instances. On 13th April 2021, a former district judge of Lucknow and his wife tested positive. And this is only one of lakhs of other cases. They reported fever and sore throat. They made frantic calls for ambulance, and the COVID bed. None came. The wife died on April 15, and the judge died scouting for her body in various places. The education system, which is based on rote, found that they were wanting in having a scientific capability for critical inquiry. The vaccine was slow in coming, but the bulk of it got exported. The Indian football team breached the bio bubble. The doctors realized that rather than ventilators and oxygen, they were preparing for oxygen supply chains when it was required in the hospitals. This is one of the most unfortunate situation where we saw people dying in their hospital beds when the oxygen finished, and they were asking for oxygen. Ultimately, the courts had to intervene and say that alternative arrangements should be made, and then the trains were deputed, the oxygen trains. They all came, but they came in too late. We have had to have a very very sad situation where hundreds of people died because in the middle of the night the oxygen finished and there were no oxygen, no further oxygen available. It's only in November 2020 the government set up a panel of officers by Center for Planning. So in November 20, which was perhaps a bit too late, and they couldn't perhaps still get to grips with the situation because they flagged at that time that there's going to be shortage of oxygen. But no steps were taken from November onwards. If they had been taken immediately by the states also, it would have been a different story. The cases increased in the end of February 2021, and they continued. We continued with mass rallies in West Bengal, and they became super spreaders. The Kumbh Mela in Uttarakhand. I am a very religious person. My daughter actually went there. But the fact of the matter is, luckily, the day she went, there was not too much of a crowd. But this is very unfortunate, because they have ended up, posing a challenge to the Indians. We ought to have been able to save their lives. I only want to say that we can't say that there is a curve in the of course the cases have fortunately come down in most of the states, and particularly in Delhi, but it wasn't a curve up, it was actually a cliff, and that cliff is in fact a very dreaded cliff. It's more difficult climbing that cliff, or coming out scot-free from that cliff, than even being able to conquer the Everest. I only hope that in the rest of the either the pandemic has been controlled. If it has not been controlled, we should do everything possible under the sun now, today, and not wait for the third wave to actually hit us, and then we won't know. We should have more beds than required. We should have more oxygen. We should have more ventilators. Only that is the only way we can save us. And it's horrific. One is very sad that so many Indians' lives have been lost, and so many of us have been living in constant fear that, oh, we haven't washed our hands and maybe we have contaminated ourselves, etc. But in one respect, it was very well done, because whatever was the preparation, the systems were right, but the man and machinery were grossly undermined. That's my submission to all of you, and it's with great sorrow that we have to say that in the course of my speech, I can say that how many have died? I've taken about 30 minutes, and that means no. During the course of the speech, how many have died?
30
per minute. So 30 minutes. 900. Well, thankfully, the situation is much better than this. The average of the beginning peak and now, that's the average. 30 lives are lost every minute, and by that I can only surmise that perhaps 900 cases, 900 persons, 900 Indians have lost their life in the course of my speech. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir. It's a very enlightening fact-finding description by a legal giant. Sir, I request that, sir, few of the people are willing to ask few questions with the permission of sir. Sir, can we? Yeah.
Okay.
So I can. Okay. So I thank you very much, sir, on behalf of Bar and Basudev Law College. Now I am handing over to Assistant Professor Mr. Abhimanyu Gandhi. Sir, I would like to tell you that he is the only man who has designed everything, and because of him, this event has been done. So now I'm posting to Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi, be precise and ask the questions to sir. And sir, thereafter, sir, we will have a Thanksgiving session by Dr. Mahendra Singh Pal. And sir, we'll assure you that we will wrap up as soon as we can, sir. So, Mr. Abhimanyu Gandhi, please.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. There is a great chaos under the heaven. The situation is excellent. This quotation was said by Mao Zedong, situating the courage in hopelessness. He believed that at these hopeless times, we should show the best of the courage. As one has said, that this is the right time to take the action and right time to make the decisions. But I believe that this is also the right time to ask the right questions. So I'll put some questions forward to Mr. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Tulsi. And one of the first few questions, sir, that I've got from the audience is that, what do you think, how do you think was the role of the courts when we saw Delhi High Court and other high courts handling hearings on oxygen shortages and medicinal shortages, and at that time Supreme Court also took a suo moto cognizance. So what do you think, what was like, how do you rate the role of the court in whole of this process? Do you think the courts were good enough, or they could have done anything better?
The courts have been mindful of the fact that this pandemic is not judicially manageable. This has to be done by the experts. But they were looking at the horrific sites of mass burials. Statistics wouldn't be available, reliable data won't be there. And that's why the courts stepped in and made sure that further problems will be dealt with greater competence.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Another question that I am receiving from one of our assistant professor, he asked that, what do you think, like, this pandemic has shown exceedingly more centralization of powers, where we could have taken a more federal approach, we could have given more authority to the states. So do you think that government of India was wrong when they tried to centralize all the things, rather than they could have done it by decentralizing the power?
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you, and I agree with the professor, because decentralization is the key. It is the last man in the queue who has to be taken care of, and if everything is centralized in the government of India, then it's not a very it's not the best way of dealing with the situation. And for that, I think there has been some realization, as a result of which these states have been asked to take control of the situation. They can do it. They know the land, the lay of the land. They know the people. They know the problems. And every state has one or two or more medical institutes. It should be widely spread. People needn't run to Delhi. Everything had to be provided to them in their home, in the isolation.
Okay, sir. There is this another question that we got. The student asked that, sir, that we have in our old, like in our previous budgets, annual budgets on health, we just see a very small minimal percentage of less than 2% or 2.5% being spent on medicine or health sector. So do you think that governments and future governments will take this lesson and increase the budget and expenditure in health sector and other social welfare mechanisms?
I entirely agree. I think that the minimum that should be provided for health sector in the next budget is 7%. And it may mean a whole lot of things, but this pandemic perhaps is not going anywhere. we may continue to have pinpricks, larger or smaller, in order because somebody is controlling it. We have not been able to trace as to from where does the leak take place, because the WHO is not even allowed to inspect the sites. So there is a fear that this may be planned, this may be accidental, but we need to know the truth. We must find out. It should, whatever way, all countries should unite to be able, because the whole world has been shaken. I think that it must, the provision for health sector, education sector, and judiciary needs to go up many times.
Okay,
Well,
thank you
Mr.
so
Ka-
much,
uh,
sir. If you allow
Mr.
just one more question that we are getting from our students, if you allow, then one more question we can put
Mr.
forward, or otherwise we can wrap up the session.
Mr. Gandhi, I think we are running out of time. Thank you very much. Can you please confine yourself now? Can we do that, please? So, sir, thank you,
Okay, no
Mr.
problem,
Gandhi.
no
Sorry,
problem.
sir, we are very grateful to you, sir. We just need only 2-3 minutes of yours, sir. We are highly grateful, sir. We are the new bar, and the kind words which we have received today, sir. It's been enlightening to us. It's been a motivating session for us, sir. Now, in the last minute, our parliamentarian, our senior advocate, Honorable Shri Mahendra Singh Pal, और मैं उनसे सर प्रार्थना करूंगा महेंद्र सिंह पाल से कि पूरे नैनीताल की तरफ से सर वोट ऑफ थैंक्स दें सर वो श्री महेंद्र सिंह पाल साहब.
थैंक यू शक्ति भाई. और हमारे अध्यक्ष अवतार सिंह हाईकोर्ट बार एसोसिएशन के, और प्रोफेसर गांधी, और वासुदेव कॉलेज के जोशी डायरेक्टर, मैं पूरे उत्तराखंड की ओर से, उत्तराखंड हाईकोर्ट की ओर से, और बार काउंसिल उत्तराखंड के मेंबर, पुराना अध्यक्ष होने के नाते, पुराना पार्लियामेंट का मेंबर होने के नाते, ये मेरा बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि हमारे देश के, दुनिया के सबसे बड़े जूरिस्ट और पार्लियामेंट केडी तुलसी जी का स्वागत करने का मुझे शुभ अवसर मिला. मैं केडी तुलसी जी के जरिए स्वागत के साथ साथ मैं ये बात अवश्य कहना चाहता हूं कि उनके जरिए पूरे भारत सरकार, प्रदेश सरकारों को ये मैसेज जाना चाहिए कि चाहे हर हालत में कैसे खरीदें, और सारे देश को, सारी जनसंख्या को वैक्सीनेशन लगना चाहिए, जिससे कि हम सेफर साइड में रह सकें. आज एक ही रास्ता है. जिस तरह से आपका जो स्टेटमेंट, जो फैक्ट्स आपने रखे, उसको देश को, यहाँ की जनता को, जनरेशन को बचाने के लिए आपके जरिए मैं ये प्रार्थना करता हूं सर कि आप ये भारत सरकार, प्रदेश सरकारों को हर हालत में किसी तरह से भी आज वैक्सीन खरीद करके सारे लोगों को लगे. यही मैं आपके जरिए स्वागत के साथ, आपके आभार के साथ, पूरे प्रदेश और देश के साथ ही कहना चाहता हूं कि आपका आभार प्रकट करते हैं कि आज की परिस्थितियों में आपने जो फैक्ट फिगर्स हमारे सामने रखे वो प्रशंसनीय है. उससे हमें सीख लेने की जरूरत है, जिससे कि थर्ड वेव से हम बच सकें, हमारी जनरेशन बच सके, बच्चे बच सके. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. वंस अगेन आई एम वेरी ऑब्लाइज्ड. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so we are very thankful to.
Sir,
okay, we are very thankful to
Mr. Gandhi. If anybody wants to ask a question, Honorable Parliament Pal Sahab is there. Sir, आप रुकिए सर, बच्चे कुछ सवाल पूछेंगे सर.
पाल साहब से एक आध सर क्वेश्चन है हमारा.
करो फिर बात करते करो.
सर कुछ
प्रोफेसर गांधी, यस.
हाँ सर, मैं ये कहना,
से कुछ सवाल है सर, थोड़ा सा बताइए.
नो प्रॉब्लम है ना.
मैं कुछ क्वेश्चंस थे जो पाल सर से हम नहीं, वो जो हम केटीएस तुलसी सर से नहीं पूछ पाए, अब हम आपसे पूछ सकते हैं. एटलीस्ट हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए.
हाँ, नो प्रॉब्लम.
तो सर, हमारे एक स्टूडेंट का ये पूछना था कि सर उनका ये कहना था कि कोर्ट्स ने जो इंटरफेयर किया या कोर्ट्स को जो इंटरफेयर करने की ज़रूरत आई, तो क्या आप इससे समझते हैं कि ये गवर्नमेंट का एक फेलियर था कि कोर्ट्स को एक्टिवली इंटरफेयर करना पड़ा इस पूरे प्रकरण में जो कोविड-19 की सेकेंड वेव के दौरान स्पेशली दिखाई दिया?
देखिए, ये जो जुडिशियल सिस्टम है हमारा, मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि हमने बड़े देर से उस पर एक्शन लिया, हमारी जुडिशरी ने, चाहे हाई कोर्ट हो चाहे सुप्रीम कोर्ट हो, थोड़ा देर से डायरेक्शन दिया, ऑर्डर दिया, जजमेंट दिया टू द गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट और एज वेल एज द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो, क्योंकि इसमें इनको अलर्ट करना बहुत जरूरी था। वही अदरवाइज पॉलिटिकल ढंग से अगर कोई उठाता है, लीडर ऑपोजिशन हो चाहे वो, तो सरकारें उसको पॉलिटिकली लेती है। ये जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट के हमारे जो जजमेंट है, मद्रास हाई कोर्ट इंक्लूडिंग द दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट, ये और इंक्लूडिंग द नैनीताल हाई कोर्ट, जो भी है उनकी उन्होंने जो जजमेंट दिए हैं वो सरकारों को, प्रदेश और केंद्र सरकार को आईना दिखाती है। ये मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि बड़े देर से इंटरफेयर किया, जो किया वो स्वागत योग्य।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर। सर एक क्वेश्चन हमारी एक स्टूडेंट है समीची, वो आपसे पूछना चाहती हैं कि सर एक तरफ तो हमारे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कुंभ मेला की परमिशन देती है और अखबारों में फ्रंट पेज पर कुंभ के लिए इनवाइट करती है लोगों को कि आप आइए और कुंभ अटेंड करिए, जो कि बाद में नैनीताल हाई कोर्ट ने भी उसे सुपर स्प्रेडर की कैटेगरी में डाला और बाकी कुछ संस्थाओं ने भी उसे ये बोला। और दूसरी तरफ हम देखते हैं कि पुलिस व्यवस्था है या जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, एग्जीक्यूटिव्स हैं, वो सड़क पर उतर के आम आदमी को डंडे से भी मार रहे हैं, कर्फ्यू भी लगा रहे हैं। तो सर आप कितना इसमें कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन देखते हैं, कितना देखते हैं कि इसमें एक दूसरे के बीच में कितनी असमानताएं हैं कि एक तरफ तो गवर्नमेंट ये बोल रही है कि कुंभ करवाइए और कुंभ के लिए आइए, और दूसरी तरफ गवर्नमेंट लोगों को सड़कों पर आकर डंडे से भी मार रही है और कह रही है घर में रहिए।
देखिए, ये एक बड़ा, हमारा देश बड़ा रिलीजियस है, धार्मिक है और पूरे उस पे रहता है, लेकिन इसमें दो फेज हैं। इस सवाल का उत्तर दो हिसाब से दिया जा सकता है। पहला ये कि जिस तरह से कुंभ का मैनेजमेंट किया, सिंबॉलिक स्टार्ट में सरकार ने जो पहला जो मैनेजमेंट किया, एक कंट्रोल के अंदर रखने की जो प्रक्रिया की, देन सीएम, उसके बाद सीएम एकदम बदली हो गई, नए सीएम आ गए, तो उन्होंने जनता जो चाहती है, जनता का राज्य है, जनता करेगी, तो फिर उस हिसाब से किसी तरह के रिस्ट्रिक्शन से नेटसल में एक है ना बाहर हटा दिया। तो ये इससे जो कमियां आई उससे आई, ऐसा नहीं है कि जो पुरानी सेटिंग थी बहुत, मैं समझता हूँ एक सिंबॉलिक ढंग से, जैसे बाद में हमारे जो रिलीजियस लीडर थे उन्होंने भी कहा कि सिंबॉलिक हो, और कुंभ के दो कुंभ जो स्नान हुए वो सिंबॉलिक ढंग से।
समझ सर एक आखिरी सवाल।
गांधी सर, गांधी सर, सर हमारे साथ बने हैं, हमारे साथ अवतार सिंह रावत जी भी बने हैं। अगर कोई बच्चा अवतार साहब से भी पूछना चाहे, सर भी हमारे साथ बने हैं, तो उनसे भी कर सकता है।
सर एक क्वेश्चन और है सर, अगर अवतार सर चाहें तो वो भी आंसर कर सकते हैं। सर अवतार सर, ये क्वेश्चन सर इस तरीके से है कि कुछ स्टूडेंट्स का कहना है कि सर गवर्नमेंट्स ने हमारे लिए वैक्सीनेशन में, अपने बजट में वैक्सीनेशन के लिए कुछ प्रावधान किए कि इतना पैसा हम बजट के तहत आवंटन करेंगे। तो क्या सर, स्टूडेंट्स का कहना है कि एक स्टूडेंट जो हमने से सवाल पूछ रहा है उसका पूछना ये है कि क्या इमरजेंसी सेशन ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बुलाया जा सकता था ऑनलाइन या ऑफलाइन के माध्यम से, ताकि हम एक कंक्रीट लॉ बना सकें, लॉ फ्रेमवर्क बना सकें जो कि कोविड-19 से डील करने के काम आए। क्योंकि जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग एक्ट है वो आज़ादी से पहले किया है, इनफैक्ट आज़ादी से 100 साल पहले, मतलब 1897 के अराउंड किया है। तो वो एक बहुत पुराने टाइम से जो चलती आ रही एक्ट है वो कमज़ोर कर देती है पूरे प्रबंधन को। उससे अच्छा कि हम एक नया लॉ भी बना सकते थे, एक मौका था नए लॉ के साथ इस पे एक्ट करने का और बजट में भी चेंजेस करने का। तो क्या पार्लियामेंट्री सेशन बुलाया जा सकता था या बुलाना चाहिए था?
राव जी साफ नहीं आ रहे आप, कैमरा ठीक
रावत
नहीं
सर,
आ रहा राव जी,
हाँ?
आपका कैमरा ठीक नहीं आ रहा। अच्छा चलिए कहिए कहिए।
सर आवाज भी
हाँ
आवाज आ रही है?
नहीं आवाज नहीं
हाँ
आ
सर,
रही
आवाज
थी।
आ रही।
Am I audible?
हाँ
Yes
यस
sir, now you're audible.
यस नाउ ऑडिबल।
So far as this, the particular nature of disease is concerned, this is a pandemic. Pandemic law is not a solution. Law alone is not a solution. Whether the existing law, disaster management, there is another act of how in that kind of situation government has to work. The fact is that, as I have mentioned in my the introductory submission also, that once you call something as a pandemic, then the pandemic itself has got various connotations. The basic concept of fighting with a pandemic would have been that there would have been a consultative process with the expert and then frame a policy line, frame a guideline how to combat with this kind of situation. The situation has come. It's not that money alone or parliament, supposedly even if I act, the parliament is called. Parliament so far as the holding the parliamentary session is concerned, always the government has got the power to call any emergency situation and have a parliament. But in this kind of situation, there was nothing would have been done by way of a parliament because
कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था उसको डिटेल।
always the inbuilt system in the parliamentary system that whenever there is a national the problem, then there is a position in a position. A government which is in the power has got a policy capacity, and then the suggestion is invited from opposition. And similarly, Mr. KTS Tulsi has just now stated that this is each and every citizen at the last corner of the country, which is affected, and which is to be provided all kind of solution, all kind of this remedial measure was to be provided to individual. So the state has got a very vital role to play in this. And once you frame a policy how to combat, how to the fight against this pandemic, then the consultative process would have been there. They should have framed some guidelines with the consultation of the state. And consultation does not require any act as such. Calling for an urgent parliamentary session and then enact an act and then have this kind of, these are not a solution. Solution would have been first thing in this kind of the willpower of an authority who is in power, who has got all the resources at his command, because resources ultimately matters. Now hospital beds are required, oxygen is required, ICUs are required. This required money also. Then the authority who at the helm of affair, he has control over the resources of the country. Now these resources have to be channelized so that these resources are reached to the last man, which is the one who is in urgent necessity of that particular facility. So that was something, as I've said, that right from the beginning, and even see that what happened was it was not taken as seriously as it could have been taken. The worst part was this issue, the moment it is declared to be a pandemic, then the focus would have been, apart from all activity of the governance, the issue would have been given the prominence. That prominence was not given. That is why there was a kind of irregularity, kind of a chaos in dealing with the problem. So, in my submission, this is not, the act is not what was doing is calling a parliamentary session and enact. And now we can say, since they have seen that all the in capacity, I'll say that the governments are different. Maybe a state government, maybe central government, maybe any government of any parties, they have totally failed in providing the immediate remedial measure to the COVID patient and the family, agonies of their families.
थैंक यू मिस्टर
Thank you,
गांधी,
sir.
मे आई आस्क वन क्वेश्चन। एक सवाल मेरा डॉक्टर पाल साहब से है। सर क्या मुझे आप सब लोग सुन पा रहे हैं?
हाँ हाँ बढ़िया
हाँ जी सर,
अच्छा
सर।
अच्छा बढ़िया आ रहा
सर मेरा सर सवाल ये है कि जैसे अब तुलसी साहब ने कहा, एक अपनी स्लाइड प्रेजेंटेशन की, तो उनके मुताबिक सर जो उनके तथ्य थे सर वो बहुत विचारणीय हैं और सर बड़े निंदनीय भी हैं। सर मेरा सवाल बीइंग अ पार्लियामेंटेरियन सर, जो पार्लियामेंट का जो प्रोसेस है उसके तहत मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि जैसे तुलसी साहब ने ये कहा कि साहब सरकार की प्लानिंग थी, अब सर हम ये सुन रहे हैं कि अभी थर्ड वेव आने वाली, जो तीसरा चरण आएगा अब, तो सर मेरे अंदर बहुत रोष है और मैं मर्यादित तौर पे अगर पार्लियामेंट में रूलिंग पार्टी से सवाल करना चाहता हूं तो वो कहेंगे आरटीआई में जाओ। तो सर ऐसा क्या माध्यम है कि हम एक यंग लोग एज ए अधिवक्ता नहीं, एज ए जागरूक नागरिक हम सरकार का घेराव करके सवाल पूछें? हमारा हक है कि साहब थर्ड, चलो आपने सेकंड वेव में सब कुछ खत्म कर दिया, आपने कोई गवर्नेंस नहीं की, लेकिन थर्ड वेव की क्या तैयारियां हैं आपकी? तो सर पार्लियामेंट में इस सवाल को हम कैसे उठाएंगे? तो सर उसकी क्या प्रक्रिया हमें अपनानी पड़ेगी एज ए नागरिक?
वो तो थ्रो आपके जो इलेक्टेड पार्लियामेंट का मेंबर है, एमपी है, चाहे राज्यसभा हो लोकसभा हो, उसके जरिए ही आप पार्लियामेंट में सवाल उठा सकते हैं। उसको उनको देखिए कि साहब ये सवाल उठाया जाए, तो थ्रो उसके ही उठा सकते, बाकी तो
सर
और
हम
कोई।
ये भी हम, जैसे तुलसी साहब राज्यसभा के सर सदस्य हैं,
हाँ
तो क्या
उनके
हम आज की मीटिंग में सर उनके थ्रू सर हम उनको एक ज्ञापन देकर क्या वो सवाल पूछ सकते
हाँ
हैं?
ये मैंने कहा, तो मैंने इसीलिए
जी
कहा
सर।
कि तुलसी साहब कि मैंने कहा साहब आप ये जो पूरे देश को जो टीके लगने हैं, वैक्सीनेशन होना है, उसमें आप चाहे सरकारें पूरे किसी तरह से भी पूरे देश विदेशों से खरीद करके भी, जितने फाइजर से लेकर जितनी भी मेडिसिन है खरीद करके हर व्यक्ति को लगाए, वैक्सीनेशन पूरा करें, जिससे कि थर्ड वेव से बचा जा सके। एट वंस सरकार को ऑर्डर करना चाहिए कि जो फाइजर से लेकर ये रशियन है, चाहे जहां भी 10-12 दवाइयां आजकल वैक्सीनेशन आ गई है, उनको लेकर के सब लगाना, वार पुटिंग में लगाना चाहिए। ओनली उस सेफ्टी का वही एक कारण, वही उसी से इस पेंडेमिक से बचा जा सकता है, और कोई रास्ता नहीं। तो वो उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ निश्चित रूप से वो इस बात को उठाए। तो आप
सर कोई और, थैंक यू सर। अभिमन्यु गांधी, कोई और सवाल अगर हैं स्टूडेंट्स के, तो अभी सर हमारे साथ बने हैं, अवतार साहब भी बने हैं,
आखिरी सवाल है
पाल साहब भी
सर, एक
बने हैं,
आखिरी सवाल।
सवाल पूछिए।
हाँ
सर आप दोनों से ही एक सवाल है, ताकि मैं चाहूंगा कि आप दोनों अपनी राय दे पाए आखिरी में। तो सर हमें अभी देखने को मिल रहा है कि वन ऑफ आवर स्टूडेंट्स हु इज आल्सो लाइक वर्किंग एंड राइटिंग आर्टिकल्स फॉर मीडिया, सो शी आस्क कि सर राइट नाउ ऐसा हो रहा है कि हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर, अगर हम देखें तो दिल्ली के अराउंड या दिल्ली के एरिया में 20,000 करोड़ रुपए का सेंट्रल विस्टा प्रोजेक्ट पास किया गया है, जिसके तहत न्यू पार्लियामेंट एज वेल एज पीएम्स हाउस भी उसके थ्रू बनेगा। तो सर उनका पूछना यह है कि क्या ये 20,000 करोड़ रुपए जो एक्सपेंडिचर के फॉर्म में दिखाए जा रहे हैं, क्या इन्हें मटीरियली अलग से नहीं कोविड-19 के मैनेजमेंट से यूज करना चाहिए था? और जब कोर्ट ने इसमें एक जजमेंट दी या ऑर्डर के थ्रू इसे अलाउ किया कि ये सेंट्रल विस्टा का प्रोजेक्ट गो अहेड हो सकता है, तो सर आपको नहीं लगता कि ये सही नहीं था, या आपको लगता है कि इससे बेटर रुख भी अपनाया जा सकता था गवर्नमेंट्स के द्वारा एज वेल एज कोर्ट्स के द्वारा?
देखिए इसमें दो है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये सेंट्रल विस्टा जो है, ये इसमें कोई स्टे या किसी तरह का इंटरफेयर करने से मना कर दिया है ना, और ये चालू है, चल रहा है। देखिए भारत सरकार के दो पहलू हैं, जो पैरेलल चीजें हैं, जैसे नेसेसरी चीजें हैं, डिफेंस है, ये है, उसमें तो, और भारत सरकार सक्षम है, पैसों की कोई कमी नहीं। देखिए पैसा स्टेट के सामने नो कंसिडरेशन, स्टेट उसको खर्च करती है, भारत सरकार बहुत सक्षम है। इसलिए मैं उस पॉइंट को ज्यादा टच नहीं करते हुए, क्योंकि कोर्ट ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक फाइंडिंग दे दी है ना, वो अपनी जगह है। बाकी सरकार अपना विवेक से किस तरह से कर रही है, अभी हाईकोर्ट में पेंडिंग है, दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट में, तो वो क्या व्यू लेती है इसको टाइम भी रोकने के लिए या नहीं रोकने के लिए, इसमें मैं राय अपनी ज्यादा नहीं देखेंगे। ये मैं इतना कहना चाहूंगा कि भारत सरकार सक्षम है, और इसलिए स्टेट भी हमारे बहुत से स्टेट बड़े पावरफुल है। पंजाब है, हरियाणा है, आपका बम्बई है, ये महाराष्ट्र की सरकारें हैं, इवन मद्रास भी बहुत पावरफुल। ये सरकारें जो जो सक्षम है, उनको अति शीघ्र जितने भी मेडिसिन है खरीद करके भारत सरकार को उनको फ्री हैंड देना चाहिए, कि उनको भी मदद अपने ओर से भी मेडिसिन दे, वैक्सीनेशन कराए, और उनको भी फ्री हैंड दे कि वो खरीदे अति शीघ्र, जिससे कि बहुत जल्दी लगे। लंबा समय लगने से हम थर्ड वेव के चपेटे में आ सकते, लपेटे में आ सकते। दिस इज द वेरी alarming question before us.
Avtar sir,
Well,
if you have any points to add, sir, will be. Sir, I think we cannot hear you. There is a bit of voice problem.
रावत जी, आपके आवाज नहीं आ रही।
अभी नहीं आ रही है?
सर काफी दूर से आ रही है, ऐसा लग रहा है कि यू आर स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम
हाँ,
अ
आप
डिस्टेंस।
ऐसे,
आ रही है?
हाँ चलिए, फिर भी ठीक है।
सवाल का जवाब तो अब ऐसा है ना, it's like a beggar has come to a person. He has that possibility. The person is well off, whether he has got that human sympathy or not, human humanity, a sort of humanity or not, that government has got a power to say which policy. It's a policy matter. It is not governance. The people those are held off here, they must have a human heart. Saying that at this particular juncture when the country is really in a trouble, whether we should go ahead with the project, that individual wisdom, that individual decision. Otherwise, there's no legal legitimacy. That is why the courts have said, this kind of project would really happen.
Sir, there is a crack in your voice. I think so. आप ये सर voice
क्लियर
में
नहीं आ
crack
रहे
आ रहा
रावत जी, नॉट ऑडिबल, नॉट, I mean, it's not so clear.
Okay. No, sir, now we'll be ending the session. I am thankful to both of our panelists, Mahendra Singh Pal sir and Avtar Singh Rawat sir, for giving and blessing us with their gracious presence and giving us their wise words in this webinar. We'll be looking forward to hold more sessions with you people, and we're very thankful to you for it, attending this session and making it a successful event. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Gandhi. Thank you, Shakti.
Okay.
Especially
Thank you.
President Rawat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm very thankful to Mr. Shakti as well for
नमस्कार।
helping us coordinating with
बहुत
everyone.
बढ़िया रहा, आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा किया। केडी तुलसी साहब का जो रिनाउंड पर्सनैलिटी है, उनके जरिए तभी मैंने जो बेसिक सवाल है आज कि कैसे बच्चे से लेकर हर एक व्यक्ति वैक्सीनेट हो सकता है, ये इस समय आवाज उठाने की जरूरत है। माइनस प्लस पॉइंट को छोड़ करके हर हालत में सबको एक आवाज में कि देश का हर बच्चा, हर व्यक्ति वैक्सीनेट हो, जिससे कि इस पेंडेमिक से बचा जाए। यही एक रेमेडी है। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We'll be ending the session now.
थैंक यू
Take care,
आपने बड़ा अच्छा वो रखा, ये सोसाइटी के लिए बड़े, वी आर वेरी, आई मीन personally I am very obliged of you person. You have chosen the very good person and subject.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was a blessing. It was a blessing, sir, to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will be ending the session now. You guys can exit. I'm sorry that certain questions were not being able to be taken. So what we'll do is we'll leave for now and then we'll meet later. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll end the session now. Sir, आप exit कर सकते हैं अब session को. Okay, thank you everyone. Take care. Have fun. Stay safe. Stay home.